Hi there, this is Matt Allington. It's Friday, the 4th of November. This is update number 4 of the River Murray Floods 2022 with a particular focus on Big Bend. Just a reminder about my links. If you'd like to link to all the videos, that's the first link on the screen. If you would like to interact with the report that I'm building and sharing with you on these videos, that's the second link. And if you'd like to learn how to build these reports, you can investigate my training. That's the third link on the screen. All those links are available below. Okay, so let's go and take a look at the report. If you haven't clicked on the link yet and interacted with the report, I encourage you to do so. You may see something in the data that I haven't seen. If you do, please leave a comment in the video below. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Okay, so let's take a look at the flow. So we're looking at the current flow, year 2022, and you can see here that the Wackle Junction continues to go up here. And also notice that this line here, the coloring is not great. I might fix that. I take a note that Wackle Junction continues to increase here, the yellow line. I might change the color of these lines, but you can see that Lock 15 is accelerating as well. Notice that Lock 9 seems to be petering out a little bit, so I'm not sure what's happening there. And Lock 1 is continuing to go up. So that's the flow view. Now, there are a couple of things that I've added to the report for this week. So first of all, if we go and have a look at the flood photos, you recall in one of the earlier videos, I talked about these newspaper clippings. Pretty sure that Wendy might have saved these and put the date onto each of these pages, which is pretty useful. So what I've done now is I've actually extracted that data. So if you want to go and have a look at that data from the archives back in 1993, you can come here to this page and have a look at the data. And I've also loaded this data into the report so that we can actually use it. Particularly interesting is the Swan Reach level, because I don't have historical data for Swan Reach back in 1993. Okay, now the other thing that I have done now is I've created a new page which I'm calling the system view. And this is a simplified system view. I've taken lead from the official website that I've shown you before. So I'll just show you the one that I'm talking about. So if we jump over to this system view, I've basically tried to build something like this, but just get all the noise out and just look at the things that I care about. And so if I jump back here and we go to the system view, you'll see that the key data points, remember Wakul, Murrumbidgee and Darling, all flow into Lock 10, which ultimately flows into South Australia. And I've put some key data points here. So these charts, you'll see the little key up here, these charts show the last 100 days. And the tables are showing the last 7 days of data. And this flushes out a few interesting points. So first of all, let's take a look at Wakul. You can see that even though we're continuing to get increases into Wakul, look at the rate of change. It's come off a little bit. Now, admittedly, the Wakul data is updated multiple times per day. I'm doing this review early in the morning and I only keep the maximum flow for the day. So it could be that later in the day, the numbers will be revised, but we'll have a look at that perhaps tomorrow. But it looks to me like Wakul is coming off a little bit, which is good news. If we have a look at Lock 15, also this is actually increasing. The rate of change is increasing, which is not surprising as the water comes down. I've done some estimates on how many days it takes for the water from Wakul to reach Lock 15 and Lock 10. I will update these estimates as I get more data coming in. Okay, so if we go on now and have a look down to Lock 10, you'll see that the rate of change is increasing, not surprising, and the flow into South Australia hasn't really seen a major change as yet, which just suggests that the water's upstream. And Lock 1 is increasing a little bit, but it's still not a massive issue. If we come over to the levels, I've got the levels here for Lock 1. You'll see that the level as of yesterday was 3.92 meters. It's a small increase on the previous day. And I've recorded here the data that I've collected. So it appears that the maximum downstream level at Lock 1 in 2016 was 4.3 and 4.6 for 1993. That's using that data from the newspaper clippings. So it'll be interesting to watch those numbers against here. And then if we go and have a look at Murrumbidgee, there is actually a little bit of hope here. So both of the Murrumbidgee and the Darling, to me, look like they have actually peaked. And given that it's going to take a few days for that to flow down, it'll be sort of another week or so before that starts to hit. But actually, if you go back and have a look with the Darling, that's actually peaked going back, maybe a week or so ago. So pretty good news as far as water coming down from those two sources. There may be some more water upstream. So if we go back and have a look at the upstream, you'll see that, so this is the data point that I'm using for the Darling River, 17 megalitres. There is more water upstream, 30 megalitres. So this will actually increase again, but Wilcannia presumably is a fair way upstream. It's got to go through Medindi Lakes first. So what I would be hoping is that by the time that water comes down, all this water from Wackle Junction has already gone through. I don't have any other data points for the Murrumbidgee. And so at this stage, we just know that the Balranald number is 29.5 gigalitres per day, and that appears to have peaked as well. So that's it. That's the update for today. I'll give another update at some stage in the next couple of days.